Good evening, students. Welcome to 11th Standard Chemistry video class. We are discussing Lesson 6 Gaseous State. In our last video class, we completed the topic Andrews isotherm and critical constants. In this video, we will discuss about an important topic, derivation of critical constants from van der Waals constants. Here, we have to derive critical constant values, namely critical volume Vc, critical pressure Pc, and critical temperature Tc from van der Waals constants A and B. The derivation part is present in your chemistry volume 1 book page number 174 and 175. Derivation of critical constants from van der Waals constant. Here we are having van der Waals equation for n moles. It is given in equation 6.22. P plus an square divided by b square into v minus nb, which is equal to n or t. For 1 mole, the van der Waals equation becomes p plus a by v square into v minus b, which is equal to RT, which is given by equation 6.23. From the equation 6.23, we can derive the values of critical constants Pc, Vc and Tc in terms of van der Waals constants A and B. Already we know that Pc, Vc and Tc are critical constants, where A and B are van der Waals constants. On expanding the above equation 6.23, we will get Pv plus A by V minus Pb minus AB by B square minus RT, which is equal to 0. It is given in equation 6.24. In equation 6.23, you have to multiply P plus A by B square and B minus B and bring the RT term to the left side. Finally, we will get equation 6.24. Now, we have to multiply equation 6.24 by B square by P. Therefore, we will get B square by P into PV plus A by V minus Pb minus Ab by B square minus RT, which is equal to 0. After simplification, we will get V cube plus Av by P minus B square minus Ab by P minus RT B square by P, which is equal to 0. It is given in equation 6.25. When the equation 6.25 is arranged in powers of V, we will get V cube minus RT by P plus B into B square plus A by P into V minus AB by P, which is equal to 0. It is given in equation 6.26. Hence, it should be arranged in V cube term, B square term, V term and constant term. Here in equation 6.25, V cube term is present in one place, where V square term is present in two places, minus B V square and minus RT V square by P. Bring the two terms and take minus V square outside. Therefore, we will get minus into RT by P plus B into V square. The remaining V term and constant term are in one place. Finally, we will get V cube minus RT by P plus B into V square plus A by P into V minus AB by P, which is equal to 0. Hence, equation 6.26 is a cubic equation of V. On solving this equation 6.26, we will get three solutions. At the critical point, all these three solutions of V are equal to critical volume Vc. The pressure and the temperature becomes Pc and Tc respectively. Hence, V equal to Vc, pressure becomes Pc, temperature becomes Tc. That is, V equal to Vc. Therefore, V minus Vc is equal to 0. Hence, volume is in cubic function. V minus Vc, the whole cube is equal to 0. Therefore, V minus Vc, the whole cube can be written as V cube minus 3 Vc V square plus 3 Vc square V minus Vc cube, which is equal to 0. It is given by equation 6.27. As the equation 6.26 is identical with equation 6.27, we can equate the coefficients of V square, V and the constant terms in equation 6.26 and equation 6.27. In equation 6.26, you have to give Pc in the place of P, Tc in the place of T. First, we have to equate V square terms in equation 6.26 and equation 6.27. We will get minus 3 Vc V square, which is equal to minus into R Tc by Pc plus B into V square. Cancel minus and V square on both sides. Finally, we will get 3 Vc, which is equal to RTc by Pc plus B. It is given by equation 6.28. If you equate V terms from equation 6.26 and equation 6.27, you will get equation 6.29, that is 3 Vc square, which is equal to A by Pc. Finally, if you equate the constant terms from equation 6.26 and equation 6.27, you will get equation 6.30, that is Vc cube is equal to AB by Pc. Now divide equation 6.30 by equation 6.29. We will get Vc cube divided by 3 Vc square, which is equal to AB by Pc whole divided by A divided by Pc. After simplification, we will get Vc divided by 3, which is equal to B. Therefore, Vc is equal to 3B. Hence, we find the value for Vc. Therefore, Vc is equal to 3B. It is given by equation 6.31. Now, substitute Vc value in equation 6.29. Here, we are having equation 6.29. 3 Vc square, which is equal to A by Pc. After rearranging, we will get Pc is equal to A by 3 Vc square. Now, we have to substitute the Vc value. Pc is equal to A by 3 into 3b square. So, we will get A divided by 3 into 9b square. Therefore, Pc is equal to A divided by 27b square. Hence, we find the Pc value. Therefore, Pc is equal to A by 27b square. It is given in equation 6.32. Substituting the values of Vc and PC in equation 6.28. Here we are having equation 6.28. 3VC which is equal to B plus RTC by P. Here VC is equal to 3B, PC is equal to A by 27B square. It is substituted here. We will get 3 into 3B which is equal to B plus RTC divided by A by 27B square. 9B minus B which is equal to RTC by A into 27B square. Therefore, 8B equal to TC or 27B square divided by A. After rearranging, we will get TC is equal to 8AB divided by 27RB square. Cancel numerator B and denominator B. Finally, we will get 8A divided by 27RB. Therefore, the value of TC is equal to 8A divided by 27RB. It is given in equation 6.33. Hence, we derived critical constant values from van der Waals constants. The value of critical constants VC is equal to 3B, PC is equal to A by 27B square, TC is equal to 8A by 27RB. The critical constants can be calculated using the values of van der Waals constant of a gas and vice versa. A equal to 3VC square PC and B is equal to VC by 3. Hence, we completed the topic derivation of critical constants from van der Waals constants. Next topic, liquefaction of gases. Liquefaction of gases means the physical conversion of a gas into liquid state or otherwise condensation process. The liquefaction of gases is a complicated process that uses various compressions and expansions to achieve high pressure and very low temperature. For important commercial operations such as LPG and rocket fuels, we require gases in their liquid state. The liquefaction methods are based on the Joule-Thomson effect. He observed appreciable cooling when the compressed gas is forced through an orifice plug into a low pressure region. Here we are having Joule-Thomson effect. This phenomenon of lowering of temperature when a gas is made to expand adiabatically from a region of high pressure into a region of low pressure is known as Joule-Thomson effect. Again, I repeat, the phenomenon of lowering of temperature when a gas is made to expand adiabatically from a region of high pressure into a region of low pressure is known as Joule-Thomson effect. Here, when a gas moves from the high pressure region to low pressure region, the gas expands adiabatically by lowering its temperature. It is said to be Joule-Thomson effect. Next, let me discuss what is inversion temperature. Here, the Joule-Thomson effect is observed only below a certain temperature, which is a characteristic one for each gas. This temperature below which a gas obeys Joule-Thomson effect is called inversion temperature. It is denoted by Ti. This value is given using van der Waals constant A and B. Ti is equal to 2A by RB. It is given in equation 6.34. The inversion temperature Ti is equal to 2A divided by RB. Hence, the gases like oxygen, helium, nitrogen, and hydrogen have very low critical temperature values. Hence, Joule-Thomson effect can be applied for cooling effectively. At the inversion temperature, no rise or fall in temperature of a gas occurs while expanding. But above the inversion temperature, the gas gets heated up when allowed to expand through a hole. It is explained here. Last topic, different methods used for liquefaction of gases. First one, Lind's method. In Lind's method, Joule-Thomson effect is used to get liquid air or any other gas. Already we know that what is Joule-Thomson effect. Hence, Joule-Thomson effect is used to get liquid air or any other gas in Lind's method. Second one, Clark's process. In Clark's process, the gas is allowed to perform mechanical work in addition to Joule-Thomson effect so that more cooling is produced. In Clark's process, along with Joule-Thomson effect, we have to provide some mechanical work so that more cooling is produced. Hence, the given gas is converted into liquid. Finally, we are having adiabatic process. In adiabatic process, cooling is produced by removing the magnetic property of magnetic material such as gadolinium sulfate. By this method, a temperature of 10 to the power minus 4 Kelvin, that is as low as 0 Kelvin, can be achieved. Hence, in this adiabatic process, if you remove the magnetic property of magnetic material, the temperature is get reduced. If the temperature reduces means cooling takes place. At the time, the given gas is converted into liquid. Hence, we completed the topic different methods used for liquefaction of gases. Hence, in this topic, liquefaction of gases, we explained how the gas are converted into liquid. It is explained by Joule-Thomson effect. In this video, we are having four important questions. First one, derive critical constant values from van der Waals constant. It is an important detailed question. Second question, what is Joule-Thomson effect? Third question, what is inversion temperature? Last question, explain different methods used for the liquefaction of gases. Hence, we completed lesson 6, gaseous state. In our next video class, we will start with new lesson. Thank you.